Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Richard Lamb. It brings me great pride to be here to present this award to Dr. Rexach. I've had the privilege of being taught by numerous excellent professors over the years, but the Educators of Distinction Award is the acknowledgement of those who have made a significant impact beyond the scope of academics. The ultimate goal of an educator is not only the ability to teach effectively and passionately, but more importantly to foster an inspirational environment, one in which students are encouraged to pursue both their academic and professional goals. Students like myself do need more educators like the ones in this room. I think many times students get so caught up with studying for finals and midterms and trying to balance their lives that we forget to stop and take the time to say thank you. So with that in mind, I would like all of us to give a round of applause in honor of all the educators here today. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself, as I believe it shows one example of the enormous impact that Dr. Rexach has made. I started to attend Mount SAC in 2005, and I was unmotivated. It wasn't because I couldn't do the work, I just didn't focus on school. I was nearly considered a college dropout. I returned to college in spring 2010, and I took Anatomy 35 with Dr. Rexach. This class was rigorous. However, my professor taught this class with great passion. She had a sort of glow to her face whenever she teaches. She approaches the class with a tough love mentality, where she explained most of us are actually going to be pursuing a career in the health field. And as future professionals, we must be educated well, because a mistake in the health field can be the result in someone's life. This class was the beginning to the recovery of my life. She inspired me to push further, to pursue my goal and not to settle for anything less. At the end of the class, I spoke with her about my life and my educational goals. She told me to pursue what I wanted to do and not to settle for anything less. Keep working hard, she says, and take it one step at a time. It was this conversation that changed my career path to becoming a physician in emergency medicine. Her vision to create the Caduceus Club has helped so many of us. She devotes her time, day and night, for this club. She puts on a health conference each year, and it really benefits all of us as future professionals because we get to talk to schools and current professionals in that field. I know she works day and night because I get emails from her at 3 in the morning. So I spoke a little bit about myself to really attest to the positive impact that this professor has made in my life. She is the seed to all my recent accomplishments. Without her, I'm really unsure where I would be currently. For so long, I lived my life without direction nor a goal. Her enthusiasm, her dedication, and advice has led me to a positive direction. She teaches from her heart, and she strives to get the best out of all her students. She has an uncanny ability to segue into a story. I know many of us will remember her stories, and especially her impersonation of her mom with the German accent. I'm taking Micro 1 with her now, and I was stressed out about class, and she's walking down the hallway with a syphilis microbial stuffed animal on her shoulder. You know it's doomsday when she has a microbe sitting on her shoulder. But she doesn't really just teach a subject. She instills confidence and courage in how we approach life. She teaches us as if we were one of her own children. Many of her students are also here today in support of her because of what she has done for us. She has impacted countless lives and has devoted her life to her students. I merely represent one of the hundreds of stories about how she has made a positive impact in someone's life. She embodies how an educator should be and what this prestigious award represents. She is my mentor, my role model, and most importantly, a dear friend. It brings me great honor to present the Educator of Distinction Award to Dr. Carmen Rexach.
Wow, how do you beat something like that, huh? So I just want to tell you that when I was a freshman at UCLA, which was slightly before the invention of electricity, I never in my wildest dreams imagined that I would be an instructor at this point in my life. I had never had any goals whatsoever in becoming an educator. If you would have asked me what I would be doing right now, I'd be in clinical practice somewhere, taking care of patients. My life progressed. I still love medicine as much as I always have. I'm an infectious disease specialist, also an epidemiologist. I know there's an epidemiologist in the future out there somewhere. I saw before. And it was a crisis in my own life that basically started me on the path to teaching. when all of a sudden I found myself in a situation where I had to have a career where I had more control over my time so that I could be with my 4 kids when they needed me. And a friend said, hey, why don't you teach this anatomy class for us? And so I started teaching anatomy, and I taught for the very first time when I taught at a community college, and then after that at the UC. But when I was teaching at the community college, I was so surprised at the students because I had never really been at a community college in my career. I went straight from high school to UCLA, never been into a community college, had no idea what was there. And what I met was this amazing group of young people and older people who had such incredible gifts and such possibilities, but no clue that they were such wonderful people. They all felt like they were in some way maybe not worthy. And so I find myself now at a point in my life where what I think I really can offer to my students is just that opportunity to see what they really are and what they can really accomplish in life. And it gives me such pleasure. And I have to tell you, I have 4 kids of my own. None of them are here today. My son lives in Florida. My daughter, Stephanie, is in rehearsal for Chicago, the play. My daughter, Jessica, is on call at UCLA in neurology. And my baby is a DJ in San Francisco. So I have none of my own kids here, but I have some of my Caduceus kids here, and I think I have about 850 kids total. We figure a few more than that. And these kids have given me so much. They really have given me the motivation to continue to try and to help them see how special they really are. This last month, and I know I have one more minute, I think, half a minute. This last month, I wrote letters of recommendation for one Mount SAC student who is graduating from UCLA with a 4.175 in biochemistry, is going to go to medical school. One Mount SAC student who just had a huge crisis in their life and is now with a 3.8 going to go to medical school. And another Mount SAC student, also similar situation. And those are the things that really make it matter to me. And when people like, and I'm going to give one more example, people like a student that I had the first year I was here, who walked through Disneyland with me when I went with the Caduceus Club to Disneyland, and she said, Dr. Rexach, do you really think that I can be a doctor? I'm really kind of old. And that student turned out to be the first student to ever graduate from UC Merced and be accepted to medical school. She started medical school at 43. So it's my great pleasure to be an instructor at such a great institution. It is my privilege to work with these wonderful, wonderful students, and I love them all dearly. And thank you so much.